Hello and welcome back to That Average Joe podcast. Of course, I'm your host here, Joe, and today we're talking Candace Owens, and this is a safe space.
After slavery, the black community was doing better. We were going up, up, up.
You can say that you hate her. You can say that she's anti-Semitic, especially with the comments that she's made toward the Jews. You can say that she doesn't care about police brutality, especially in the comments and remarks that she's made about George Floyd.
I want to come out and say that I do not support George Floyd and the media depiction of him as a martyr for Black America.
You can say that what does she know about the black nuclear family, especially since she's married to a white man and has 3 kids. You can say that what does she know about the black struggle? She is affluent. She articulates herself very well. She's not a part of what, quote unquote, the black struggle. You can call her an Uncle Tom, a coon, one of those.
Candace the Coon Owens. Sis, I don't think you understand, but I don't expect you to understand because you want to be white so bad. I think that you would sell your soul to be a white woman.
Or you can call her an Oreo. There's so many names, honestly, that you can call Candace.
So look, people like Candace Owens lead pathetic lives because they're paid to sell their own identity out. And so that's just the reality of it, because none of the things that she says is true. And so
I just wanted to ask a couple of questions as to why. And does she deserve all the hate that she is getting? And especially now that you know that she's also been banned and demonetized.
Obviously, I'm doing this because my account just got suspended on YouTube, and I shared with you guys exactly how it happened. This harassment campaign is brought to you by Awesome Jews. That's literally the name of the account that orchestrated this harassment campaign and put a step-by-step guide. I knew that we had arrived at the final point because they had gone so vicious in trying to take my job, trying to assassinate my character.
Like, hey, maybe she has too powerful of a voice and she could influence people, influence the presidential election, and the powers that may be. They found her a little bit too polarizing, or her ideologies a little bit too radical, and they chose to silence her and mute her voice. And do you agree or disagree? Thought we had freedom of speech. So, you know, a lot of people see Candace Owens, she's not relatable. She doesn't understand the black struggle. And, you know, she tries to make everything racially inclined and it's black versus white. And she tries to placate or downplay the black struggle. It's, you know, she's like, you just pick yourself up by your bootstraps and not understanding that, you know, there's a lot of social economic factors that are the reasons as to why a lot of black people are in the predicament in which they are in, and they have been systematically oppressed. She is on the contrary of that. Not that she denies that all of those reasons do exist, but she just is like, well, they do exist, but you can overcome them. And she says a lot about, like, you know, the prison and why so many of us are in the prisons.
One thing I always say, Tucker, is that the left can pull a racist narrative from thin air where it doesn't exist, but when it actually is in their face, they try to avoid it at all costs, especially when the perpetrator is a black person against another white person, which obviously happens more often in this country, given the fact that black Americans are the most murderous group in America by rate.
Why we're so underfunded, our communities are essentially destroyed. You know, they're underfunded, they're uneducated, they're undereducated. And also she brings a lot of light to narratives and the history that we've been told to believe, and this, she just kind of is questioning.
Absolutely not. Look, culture and the media, it used to provide a window into the hearts and the minds of the American people. It no longer does. It almost feels like we're being punished for not agreeing with these certain hosts and not agreeing with these certain platforms. And unfortunately, this is why people are starting to turn it off. So with the revival of Roseanne and with Tim Allen coming back on TV, thank goodness somebody is standing up for me and my ideas and what I believe in. The media doesn't do something differently. If they don't start actually telling the story as opposed to selling it, they're going to see that their pockets are going to be hurt.
And that's the one thing I do love and appreciate about Candace Owens, is that she's just questioning the narratives that we've been trained and, the school has indoctrinated us to believe, whether, and a lot of the radicals, or quote unquote radicals, that she brings on, she's just trying to gain a better understanding and see their perspective, which I appreciate. I'm one of those. I want to see the other side. And it's not to say that I agree with everything that they say and that what they say is law and what we've been told is so false. It's just that we do need to see the opposing side. If you told us that A happened, the other people also have their own story that they want to tell us. She's just questioning everything that we've been told. And she's been doing a lot of research. She's been reaching out to a lot of historians and economists, and just reaching out to a lot of people just to get a better picture of things. And I think that people just don't like being questioned. I've told you that this is law or that this happened, and why are you questioning me on that? And with Kanye, it was refreshing that, also that Kanye wasn't alone, that, hey, there are other people who look like you who are willing to listen to you.
It's true. The internet is broken. You cannot use the internet today. It's not working anywhere in the world because I wore a t-shirt alongside Kanye West, which read White Lives Matter. And God forbid you wear a t-shirt that says White Lives Matter.
Listen to you, and also willing to stand beside you. Like, hey, you said White Lives Matter. I agree with that. And I've sat down with you and I've talked to you and I listened to the reasoning as to why you have leaned that way and why you feel that you need to be very vocal as to that, And she stood with them, even with Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate, and inviting a plethora of historians and just questioning the narratives that we've been told. And that's all that's all my big point here is that, we shouldn't condemn people who view things differently from us. And, whether you're Democratic, whether you vote Democratic or whether you vote more Republican or maybe you vote more independent, you should still be willing to listen to the other side and gain a better perspective. And I think that is also just missing from our climate today. We're so dogmatic on our own beliefs, whether political, social, economic, religious, whatever. We're so very dogmatic on our beliefs, and we shun the other side and we don't try to listen to them. And we condemn them. We say that they're radicals and that we should maybe even possibly go as far as to mute and ban them. And it's YouTube has its own prerogatives. Thankfully, we live in a society where it's not a monopoly. You have other platforms that you can go and express whatever rhetoric that you feel that you want to get off your chest. And the people that support you will follow you there. Though we understand that some platforms are bigger and have a bigger influence, but they also have the right to choose to or to not support something. But the questions here are, what are your thoughts on Candace Owens and the thoughts on being banned for some of your views? I thought we lived in the freedom of speech, but that's just the real world. Platforms have their own choice of the speeches that they can choose to support or not to support. But let's deviate and revert back to the topic at hand here. Do you agree or disagree with a lot of the things that Candace Owens said? Please like, comment, and subscribe below, and let me know some of the beliefs that you feel that you support. Do you think that she's a coon, an Uncle Ruckus, an Uncle Tom? What are your thoughts on with Candace Owens? Thank you again for tuning in to That Average Joe podcast. Of course, I'm your host here, Joe, and please stay tuned for more.